Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live. I'm Kwan. Don't forget, before we get started here, you can always watch this and listen to this on your own time. You can do that by visiting our InForum YouTube channel. You can always find it on your favorite podcast platform. And you can go on inforum.com/subscribe. Actually, nope, that's the wrong link. Inforum.com/podcast and click on the InForum Minute. I was trying to see if I could do that without my sheet here, because I have been teasing around for the past few days saying that I think I've memorized that now. So there you have it. I almost got it. We'll try again tomorrow. All right, really quick before we get to our breaking news today, I wanted to let you guys know a big Iron Farm show is kicking off today. It's the 42nd year. As you guys probably know, it's a massive 3-day farm show. I believe it is actually the biggest farm show in the upper Midwest. And that's all kicking off at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. So really exciting stuff. Of course, it's going to open today at 9, runs until 5 tomorrow, same time as well. On Thursday, it also opens at 9, but it'll close an hour early, going until 4. So it's free admission for anyone who wants to go. So really fun to check out. Of course, it's going to be showcasing some of the best and newest technology in agribusiness. Also today, we know that Governor Doug Burgum is expected to announce a proposal to try and make childcare a bit more accessible in the state, of course, amid these staffing shortages. Over the past year, guys, we've told you that daycares in the state have had to shut down because they just didn't have enough workers to keep it going and running. So in the past, we know North Dakota has offered thousands of dollars in grants to not only just keep these current facilities running, right, but to also keep and help out the new ones that are trying to get off the ground. So announcement is expected at 10 this morning, and that's going to be happening at the Bright Futures Learning Center in Fargo. If you can't make it in person, no worries. You can just go to the governor's Facebook page and tune in to his live stream. All right, now let's get on to our breaking news of the day. It happened in South Fargo where a fire broke out. We had our first news reporter, Jenna Scott, out there live for us, and it was right on 25th Street, think right by the Avalon Event Center there. And we know that it was a 2-alarm fire, and we got to look at the damage of that trailer this morning live. And oh gosh, it was really, really bad. The roof had caved in, but here's the good news. No one was inside at the time, so obviously no one was hurt. And we also know that that fire stayed to that trailer, so it didn't spread to any other nearby buildings. Also really interesting this morning that Jenna was talking about was that they brought in an arson dog to sniff out and just to see if maybe there are some things that might be suspicious that could lead to, possibly being an arson fire. Of course, those aren't confirmed details yet, but we did see an arson dog there on scene. So we'll definitely let you know, of course, what the cause of the fire is and how much in damage they're estimating this morning. But more updates to come, of course, online, inforum.com, and on our evening newscasts as well. All right, now let's get to it. More road closures and lane closures to tell you about today. 12th Avenue North in Fargo is going to be one of the lanes, down to just one today at 43rd Street North, right by Code Zero Electronics. So crews are going to be making some repairs to the water mains in that area, and that's expected to last about 4 days. Grand Forks, Gateway Drive is going to be down to one lane as well at the intersection with North Washington, right by Rock Bottle Shop. So water main work is going to be happening in that area as well, and that lane is expected to be closed until the end of the day tomorrow. Stutsman County, you also will be dealing with some closures. Canadian Pacific, will be closing a railroad crossing in the town of Courtenay, North Dakota. That's about 22 miles northeast of Jamestown. Routine maintenance is going to be happening on that crossing. That's expected to be done by Friday. Okay, today a nationally recognized motivational speaker is going to be in Fargo with hopes of inspiring the community and especially high school students. So his name is Nathan Harmon. He's going to be visiting Fargo North and South high schools to share his story. Back in 2009, we know that Harmon was driving drunk. He got into a crash, and that crash killed his passenger. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Since then, he is now 10 years sober. So he's going to be at North High School at 9:10 this morning, South High at 1 this afternoon. He'll also be speaking, if you're interested, he'll also be speaking at the Bethel Church in Fargo tonight, and he will also be speaking at the Sanctuary Event Center tomorrow night. All right, also right now, the Salvation Army in Fargo is asking for your help to get ready for the winter season. We know how brutal those winters can be, guys. So it's asking people to donate some new or gently used coats and other winter gear, of course, for adults and children. Collection bins you can find at any Hornbacher's locations in Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead. So lots of ways that you can give your stuff there. Donations are going to be accepted until the end of this month, and if you don't have any winter gear to donate, that's totally okay. The Salvation Army is also accepting cash donations as well, so of course every little penny helps. All right. We also know schools in the Fargo Metro, Fargo-Moorhead Metro are making an effort to reduce attendance issues in its schools. So we're hearing from district leaders that, COVID has, of course, forced a lot of kids to stay at home, meaning that a lot of them aren't coming back to school, right? So leaders in Fargo School District are saying 1 in 4 students is chronically absent. Chronically absent just means they miss about 10% of the school year. That's kind of a lot, right? So the district, at least in Fargo, did announce a plan. It's called an Attend to Win plan. So that is encouraging students to get back to school in person. Moorhead has some similar efforts being made right now. They just hired 6 student support specialists who will be monitoring those chronically absent students. So hopefully that will crack down on the number of students, being absent. All right, Moorhead City Council just voted to extend its property tax rebate program for another 2 years. So this program allows owners of some newly constructed homes, newly built homes, to go without paying their property taxes for 2 years. This does apply to all new homes within Moorhead, and of course this brings not only new people to the area, but it's just long-term growth in the community as well. Over the last 9 years, we know that this program has resulted in nearly 1,400 homes, new homes being built across the city. Lots of growth there. All right, National. Wanted to let you know about a really important recall, and it has to do with some of its car models. So we know that its most popular SUVs are being recalled right now due to a fire risk. So that's going to include the Expeditions and the Lincoln Navigators from 2015 to 2017. And there's about 200,000 of them being recalled right now. So this is a really big recall. And it's all because the heating and the cooling fan motors can catch on fire. Now we do know that there were 25 reports of fires that the company got, 12 of them causing really horrible damage to those cars. So right now Ford is reaching out to its customers and is asking them to just bring those cars back for some free repairs. So if you have, again, an Expedition or a Lincoln Navigator from 2015 to 2017, be on the lookout for an email or some sort of contact info. Otherwise, I'm sure you can just find that information just by going to Ford's website, and you can bring that to a dealer just for some free repairs. All right, we also know a Twitter whistleblower is expected to testify today before Congress about some allegations of security and privacy vulnerabilities at that company. This is very and almost eerily similar to that Facebook whistleblower who brought up some very similar concerns a few months back. But we know that lawmakers did send the company more than a dozen questions related to its security practices, and they really want to know how that site secures personal data and guards against insider threats and foreign intelligence operatives. So the Senate Judiciary Committee also wants Twitter to respond to some of these allegations that it intentionally misled regulators. It's inviting the CEO to testify alongside the whistleblower, and that whistleblower, we found out, was the Twitter's former head of security. So he worked, firsthand with security breaches and things like that. So that is expected today. We also know that health experts have now confirmed the first known monkeypox death in the US. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh my goodness, this sounds like COVID all over again. Don't worry just yet. We do know that a lot of these health experts are also saying it's very rare to die from monkeypox. But listen to this. So the CDC did say that someone living in LA County, Los Angeles County, with a severely weakened immune system died after that person was hospitalized with the virus. Now, I emphasize the weakened immune system because those with a weakened immune system are most vulnerable for severe illness from monkeypox, as are babies and as are pregnant people. So this is why I'm saying, it's really, really rare for someone to die from monkeypox is, what we're hearing from scientists and health experts across the country right now. But, just wanted to let you know that it's still possible. So anyone with a weakened immune system, you're more likely at risk for severe illness, as are babies and pregnant people. We also know, just for a quick update here, as of yesterday, CDC said 22,000 people in the U.S. had probable or confirmed cases. Okay, let's get on to some NASA Artemis 1 launch stuff. This makes me so excited, but I'm also like really impatient now because I want this to launch already, but of course they gotta figure a lot of things out on the ground first before that gets to the moon. So we know that it's pushing back the next attempt, and it's gonna be on the 27th is the date that they're eyeing right now, which is 4 days later than it originally planned. So the new launch window is about 70 minutes long, shorter than the 120-minute window that was available on the 23rd. Of course, if you didn't know, first Artemis 1 launch was failed. It basically failed because of an issue that happened during the engine bleed that the agency thinks was due to a faulty sensor. So hopefully the 27th launch will be a lot better for Artemis 1. All right, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. You can join the sports junkie himself on everything that you need to know. He always has some really great guests on, so you might want to join him this morning, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. All right, InForum.com right now, this is a story that we've been continuing to track here, not only on First News, but really WDAY as a whole, right? Here's the headline. It's Fargo man accused of killing 14-year-old girl, says he doesn't recall attack, couldn't tell what was real. If you tune in to First News today, we did tell you a little bit about, the interrogation process, the interview process, and just a little spoiler alert, if you didn't catch that this morning, we know this is Arthur Colley that we're talking about who attacked, 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson, but he was high on meth at the time, and this article does a really good job of going in depth at the interrogation and kind of detailing the timeline of this case and everything that happened. So again, that's on InForum.com right now. Also, before you head over to our website, don't forget for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass on InForum.com. All you got to do is go on InForum.com/subscribe to get that deal. All right, everybody, I think that's all I have for you on this Tuesday. I keep losing track of my days, but it's Tuesday. Yes, and we got a lot more coming up on our 11 o'clock show. I don't know if you guys caught that yesterday, but we got Becky Parker and Dylan Vogt at the 11 o'clock. So, I mean, it's just, that's happening very soon in 3 hours. So make sure you tune in because we're going to have more news coverage for you throughout the day. Again, that's with Becky and Dylan at 11. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow and have a great day. Bye.